Our next guest plays the ruthless, backstabbing business tycoon Richard Channing. We have all rotten people out here. On the popular primetime soap Falcon Crest, which airs on CBS Fridays at 10 o'clock. He has the latest for us now from the Tuscany Valley Grapevine. Please welcome David Selby. David. Sorry, I'm calling people names tonight.
Did you call me a name?
I called you ruthless and backstabbing.
That's all right. I'll allow it.
It's kind of a theme show. It's all rotten people named David. I'm sure that's what we're having. You've been married a long time, haven't you?
A long time. I've been married a quarter of a century.
Wow.
That's neat. That's a long time.
Yeah.
I heard you. Listen, I learned everything more that I wanted to know. You know.
you made hiding your hair out of that, huh?
Actually, I like marriage. I think. You know, it's a wonderful, gives you a golden opportunity to mature. And if you're lucky, as I was, in my case, your spouse gives you the opportunity to catch up with her. So I matured a little later, and thank God she stayed with me. But I believe I like it. I like it better than just living together. Living together somehow, I don't know, it seems like a convenience store, you know. I mean, there are a lot of those.
Sure, you go in, you want a Slurpee.
I don't know.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
hard.
Same. You know, it's funny when you're going to get married, as I am. You hear more people kind of come out of the woodwork and tell you, you know, I'm married. I really like it. I mean, you don't hear about that stuff usually because you hear about marriages breaking up and all that. But
yeah,
a lot of nice things.
Well, I want to encourage you.
Thank you very much.
I think, if you want to know my honest,
I want to know your honest
opinion about it. I think it is quite lovely when two people find each other and can hold hands and can share things about life together. You know, because marriage, you're going to have to deal with children, with paying the bills, with cutting the grass, with getting up in the morning, you know, going to bed at night.
I didn't count on this bills and grass stuff.
Bills and grass? You won't have to do
I got to cut the
You
grass.
won't have to. Yeah, she says cut the grass. You've got to cut the grass. You know.
Well.
But I'm all for it. Now, and also I'm for the,
Yes,
you know, I like the family aspect. You know, the raising...
Sure, and they can cut the damn grass.
They can cut the grass. But no, and they can take out the trash and all of that sort. If you raise them right, they can run the dishwasher and do everything.
That's it.
Mine don't.
Well, enough of that.
No.
What is the story of this rogue dressing trailer?
Rogue dressing trailer?
Were you in a vehicle that was careening down streets without motorized?
You mean it got hit?
Yeah.
I was in the dressing room. I was asleep. Who told you this? I was asleep in the dressing room, and it broke loose over at Warner Brothers.
One of these old trailers?
And a truck hit it.
Well, that's no fun at all.
No, it was no fun. That's about it.
Oh.
Except it's great. A cameraman's brand new Toyota truck as it when I careened out into the road.
Did you get hurt at all?
I didn't get hurt.
Not even a little?
No,
Come on.
no.
Oh, a little. Come on.
I did not get hurt. They woke me up. It was probably the most exciting thing that happened to me that week.
Where are you from?
I'm from West Virginia, West by God, Virginia.
Well, now, what is a West Virginian accent a Southern accent?
It's sort of a hill country. Usually when you say you're from West Virginia, this is a geography lesson. See, somebody will say, oh, I've been to Richmond. See, no one's laughing because no one understands that Richmond's not in West Virginia. I mean, it's in Virginia, you see.
And what's the capital?
No, it just went right over.
What's the capital?
Charleston, West Virginia.
What are some other...
Oh, wait a minute. Right here. Look at this. I brought you something. I didn't do this. My mother did.
Oh.
And this is another true story, folks. I said, Mom, I'm going to be on the Pat Sajak show. I want you to watch. And she says, I think he's so cute. She didn't say so. She said, I think he's cute. True thing. I said, why don't you go buy him a sweatshirt? She went right out. She bought you a sweatshirt. I swear to God. Bought you a sweatshirt. Here you go.
What does that say?
See there?
West Virginia. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank your mom for me. That's pretty cool. Have to have her on the show sometime.
I think, yeah, you have to have her. I thought that was quite lovely.
Now, are you, there is a certain, I don't want to embarrass you, but sort of sex symbol thing involving your character? I mean, you get a lot of that kind of stuff. Is that
oh, it doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah?
Oh, I think that's terrific.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Does
You like
it
that?
bother you? Are you considered a
I-
sex symbol?
In very select circles.
Very select.
There's a small cult in the hills. Yeah, that finds me that way.
Well, I don't know about a sex symbol. You know about that. I will tell you this: the story about my daughter goes to school. She goes to the nuns teach the class, and she said they asked her what their favorite show. This just happened a couple weeks ago. Asked her what their favorite show was this year, and there's apparently a new show on about a young doctor, a young boy who's 16 or something.
Doogie
and then there's another show about growing up on, what is it?
Wonder Years?
No, Wonder Years.
Wonder
I think
Years.
it's Wonder Years. They said Wonder Years. She says, well, thank goodness. I'm glad to see you children are all, coming up with these good shows. Because last year, the favorite show was Falcon Crest. Well, that's right. That's what my daughter did. She got down in her chair about as far as she could and hoped and prayed that no one would ever,
That shows part of the reason she's going to that school.
Part of the reason that she's going to that school.
When we come back, I'd like to talk about another show, and are you comfortable talking about your Dark Shadow days?
I'm comfortable.
Yeah? All right, good. Well, we'll do that with David Selby in just a minute. Come on back. Whoa, welcome back. We're having a grand time here with David Rossi and David Selby.
Yes,
we have two. We have two Selby. We have two Davids.
There's room in that name for two boys.
I used to actually in high school, when I was in David, the word David. Now, sorry, I'm interrupting.
No,
but-
that's all right.
No,
That's why
they
you're
used to call you. I always insisted. I know I want to be called Dave when I was in high school, but then you get a little older and you say, no, I'm comfortable with David. But of course, when you go back home,
It's Dave again.
hi, Dave.
Anyone call you Davey when you were growing up?
No, no one calls me Dave.
All right. Now, Dark Shadows,
Dark
what years
Shadows.
are we talking about here?
We're talking about the late 60s,
It was
early 70s.
a mammoth show.
Yeah, it was-
For those who don't recall, it was a daytime soap
Daytime
opera, but
soap.
there were werewolves and vampires.
Vampires and
And what were you?
I was a werewolf.
Yeah. Now,
At the full moon.
and we've got exciting news for you.
Yeah?
Because if you watch this television set, he's flipping around right here, and you folks watch your monitors,
What?
you will see, or maybe hear, David turn in to a werewolf.
You're kidding.
Watch.
It's happening again. No, come near me.
Let me ask you this. What did you get there? Let me ask you this. How much did those special effects cost? That was very impressive.
Not a whole lot. We're talking basic salary, scale.
Now, the reason we have that is thanks to some fine folks who are actually putting out Dark Shadows episodes on videotape. You'll actually be able to buy these now.
Well, I'm not pushing that.
No,
Pat,
I know
because
you're not.
They're not paying me.
I
so
know. Well, they allowed us to run that.
They allowed us to. Oh, I see.
So we thought we'd go
Well,
ahead and humiliate you now.
I can't.
No, it's-
yeah,
no,
you humiliate
no,
me.
no,
that's
no, no.
right. Can you imagine that? Now that's going to I'll be. Oh well, goodness gracious, and somebody's going to be showing me that. How do I explain that to my children?
Daddy needs a shave again. Didn't your character have? Wasn't there? It was a big song.
Oh, he was. Yeah,
was
Quentin
Quentin's
Steen.
theme.
Every time, actually, in that show, when I went on, I didn't speak for about the first 2.5 months, and they played this song, Quentin Steen. And behind, every time he made an entrance, you had this big old Victrola, and out came da-dee-dee-dee-dee. Shadows of the night.
There are words.
Yeah. Shadows of the night, falling silently, echoes of the past calling you to me. Haunting memory, veiled in misty glow, phantom melody, playing soft and low. And then actually, there are a couple of lines that are quite actually moving because in this simple way because of the terrible tragedy up in San Francisco and how people pull together, because it goes, in this world that we know now, life is here, then gone. But somewhere in the afterglow, love lives on and on. And then, you know, and then it goes on and down. That was...
It was...
you can...
They're applauding the sentiment.
Yeah, they're applauding the sentiment. Good, because now you understand why I've never had a big musical career.
But you remember that, which is very nice.
Well, it was with me for so long. And then finally, I did begin to, after 2.5 months, it became a sort of a gimmick, you know. When's this character going to speak? And I was terrified back in those days because I was a young actor. I needed the work, and I was afraid that once this guy speaks, it'll be like the talkie days. That'll be the end of him. Ship him out right on the next train back to West Virginia. But fortunately, I spoke, and they stuck with me. But they played the song every time also.
Oh. Now, on Falcon Crest, now your mate is gone.
My mate,
Your
yes.
mate met with an untimely death.
Susan met with an untimely death.
Might you be meeting with an untimely death?
Well, you never know, Pat. You never know.
No, you've been doing this show, what, 6, 7
a long
years?
time. Pat.
and I know it's been great, and I know
It
you've
has.
loved what it has done for you and
Yes,
your career and your personal life.
It's been terrific. And actually, the role of Richard Channing has been one of the better roles that come along for me, because I don't, you know, I say this somewhat out of ignorance, because I'm not sure what goes on out there in the television and film, and I don't get to see everything. But for me, that character has been a wonderful character to play, because sometimes he has the black hat on, sometimes he has the white hat on.
No, we all do that.
We all do that in life, and that's it. He never has to say the proper thing or the cute thing, and sometimes he can make mistakes.
So when are you dumping the show?
When am I dumping the show? I would never get into that kind of conversation. Ask me at Christmas.
All right. At least a clue. Great pleasure having you here. Thanks. David Selby. Thanks, folks. We'll take a break, and back, and Sawyer Brown will sing right on the stage, right over there.